Just like hit the beatbox every day. You're actually really good at that. It sounds nice right now. That actually
sounds so good on a good.
You and
on a good
Ollie,
mic.
when you're baked, must be a fucking good time.
Actually, no, because if I'm it's a terrible time. No, because if I'm baked, which like I don't smoke anymore anyways, but if I'm baked and I'm trying to beatbox specifically with Oliver, because he's like really good, and I'm just like, wow, how is he doing all that? And then I'll try and pinpoint one of the sounds he's making. So then all I can think of is like, okay, he's probably like,
You're trying to do it.
yeah, and I can't do anything. So most of our beatbox sessions, they're like subpar. Yeah, so I gotta like actually hang out with him again next time and just be sober. And then
It'd probably be
think I'd
good,
on
like,
page.
Good for the outside perspective of somebody else. If you're just smoking weed, you're not actually beatboxing, and out of nowhere you guys start going in on it. It'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, this is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. There was this one time we were on like walking down the streets of Vancouver, and we were like kind of like co-beatboxing to each other. It was actually pretty sick. We're just like walking down the road. It was cool. And then he was just adding a
love
beat
that.
on top of it. It was decent,
I
man.
love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Then me and Dustin go for a while. We're just like, fuck, why don't we drive? Like, how far is that Dairy Queen?
Dude on the left, he looks like an idiot. Guy on the right also looks like an idiot.
Look at the flood pants on that one.
Just chirping people. That's hilarious.
All right. How's it
Okay.
going, guys?
Oh yeah, we're rolling.
Another day, another
rolling,
dollar.
rolling.
Yeah. So we got a new setup here. Just
Trying it
slowly
out.
trying to make it more professional. I feel like I'm inclined to actually look at the camera now because I'm like,
Mm.
Kyle, you're way over there, man. You're like
Yeah.
way over there.
I'm just gonna force myself that I can't look at you. I can
There we
only
go.
look this way now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super sassy. Like, I'm not looking at
Yeah,
you while
cold
I talk
shoulder.
shit to you.
Oh no, that was really interesting, Dustin. Keep talking. It's awesome. I'm engaged. I can't wait for the ending.
Oh.
That's gonna hurt. I'm like talking about my day. That's how you respond.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, but we're trying to increase viewerability. Anyone who's actually watching, let us know. Give us some opinions. Don't forget to actually subscribe to our channel. I think we have a Patreon coming on. We have a buymeacoffee.com. Yeah, I've been doing some things in the background. Haven't really told these guys yet, but yeah. So we're making some exclusive content pretty soon. We're gonna be doing quite a bit. So if you're actually going out of your way to watch this, man, give it a like, give it a subscribe. Let us know how it is.
Matt, you have a voice meant for radio. Can we just like talk about how nice that voice was?
Oh,
right
if I
there?
project
very
it.
good.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, you
boys and girls.
get that
love
morning
it.
radio voice.
Yeah,
I love that.
The only problem is I'm so socially awkward. So if I'm like just on the cusp of like just letting it out, it kind of works. But as soon as I think about my words, I kind of stumble it over. And then because if I'm like in a group of people, I'm like, oh, like I don't want to be awkward, and then that makes me super awkward.
Yeah, you don't want to say that one thing that's going to offend them, but because you didn't say it, you didn't get to have that funny moment right after.
Yeah. So it's a really fine line of being me.
The life of Matt.
Yeah. What did you guys do this week?
Yesterday was actually pretty fun. We took the kids out to the corn maze. Normally, we go pumpkin patch just out in Fantasy Farms.
Oh yeah, okay.
But this is our first time at the one out in Yarrow, and they have just different like bunnies, chickens. But my favorite part is there was a bunch of these goats just going around neighing and doing whatever they do. But
Goats don't neigh.
hey, they were big goats. They were real big goats. They had a couple of hooves. We'll keep them as goats. But so
Big goats
we
with
go
hooves.
find these. There's a couple people riding them. There's a saddle. They neighed a lot, but I don't know. But so there's these goats, and they're just eating corn and everything. But Brooklyn comes over. She's like, "Oh, what are those?" I'm like, "Oh, that's a goat." And she's like, "Oh, hi, LeBron James."
Oh,
I've got her to the point she doesn't know what a goat is. She only knows LeBron James, and I've peaked. I've made
That's
it.
amazing. That is beautiful.
It was my favorite
So good.
because Brittany heard it too. Because
Yeah.
she's like, "There's no way she's gonna say it." I'm like, "No, she knows. She knows the truth. This
That
isn't
is
a lie."
hilarious. Wow.
That's iconic. Like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
man, Okay, Kyle posted a video of his kid getting hit in the face.
Oh.
Yo.
And I was like, why isn't this on America's Funniest Home Videos?
That
Like,
was actually
I
hilarious.
tried.
like,
Yeah.
did you send that to kids getting hurt? Like, that's a beautiful
Yes,
video.
I did the full submission and everything, and they didn't get back. I think they really missed off an
I
opportunity
was
right
like,
there.
man,
You know
that's
that
such a good
that
video.
meme of the superhero pressing 2 buttons and he doesn't know which one to press? That's how I think of it, of like call child services or call America's Funniest Home Videos. Which one do I do?
That was the feeling we were looking to reciprocate.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
wanted
so-
everybody to have that moment where it's like, that's why I made sure to end it with, she's okay.
yeah, she was okay. She's fine. She's still there. It's all right.
Honestly, she loves that. It's
Getting
the
hit
weirdest
in
thing. Yeah,
the
we
face
use a
with a
big
ball.
ball. She runs over, throws at me. Most of the time, she turns around, puts her arms out, and says, "Throw, throw, daddy." And I'm like,
All right.
Okay.
It must be a hilarious feeling.
and it hits her. She falls, gets up, throws it back to me, does it again.
Nice.
So then that one, I'm like,
Sucker
okay,
for
we're gonna
pain.
record, and she turned around, and I'm like, this is gonna be good.
Oh, man.
And it was not me who threw it either.
Oh no.
Brittany can't hold back the gas. She's got an arm.
The
Yeah,
gas.
it was a
That-
good throw.
That reminds me of so all of my nephews and my niece, they all play football because of me. And so I remember my oldest nephew, he's been playing ball for a long time, and it was finally the time for his for I guess next youngest brother, he's got a few brothers. His next youngest brother was getting his pads for the first time. And so he was finally like, I've been telling him for a while, like, yeah, you're a football player because you play flag football, but like you're not a football player until you got pads, right?
Yeah.
And so finally he gets his pads for the first time, and he was so excited to show me, like the absolute joy in this kid's eyes showing me his pads. And I was like, nice. And I looked at his dad, I was like, yo, you got the bags? And so he's because his dad was coaching. I grabbed one of the tackle bags. I was like, all right, come tackle me. And as soon as he got close, I just lit his ass up. I flattened him so bad. And he's just like starfish on the ground, just like lying there.
Uncle
and he's
Dustin, I don't want to play football anymore.
he was just like collecting his thoughts, and all the parents were like, oh, and they're all
Yeah.
just like sitting there like waiting to see. And then he slowly gets up. I'm like, there you go. You've taken your first smack.
You are now a football
Now
player.
now you're a football player. You got laid the fuck
You
out.
got your brain
Wow.
scrambled. You're good now.
Man.
See, that's why we wear a helmet. Now you can be fearless, because there's no way kids your age can hit you like I can. I was just like 25.
You'll never get hit that hard again. Now
Exactly.
play better.
Blow your ass up.
Wow, man.
Coaching kids has always just been like that. It's like I always described it as like, yeah, I'm just gonna go abuse children tonight. I
It
just
basically.
love grabbing the shield bags.
Mm.
Just, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one time that you put a
man.
little too much on that smaller kid, and you're like, oh shit. It's like when you have a little brother. Like with my brother, we'd always fuck around, but then you accidentally hit them a little too hard, and as they're about to start crying, you just run over. No, you're good. We're fine. I'll give you 3 chocolate bars. I'll do all the dishes. I swear. Just shh. Don't let mom hear you. No, we're fine. We're fine.
That's so classic. I would have like a lineup though, like we'd be running a drill, and like all the kids, they'd be coming in. I'd give the first one the work, but he would like in football, the first kid in the line for a drill is usually like one of the more adamant players. He's usually more focused, dialed in, so he's ready for it. So when I give him the work, I don't usually like beat him up too bad. He's like, oh shit, like maybe I caught him off guard, but he's still like he's getting in there. But then after I smack him, the rest of the kids in the line are like, oh shit, okay, like I got to get prepared so I don't
Yeah,
get
gear
embarrassed,
up.
right? They don't get bodied by coach. But every now and then you get that one kid who's just been like talking the whole time, not really paying attention to what's going on, and he comes in half-assed, he's a little bit too high, and then I just bobbed him like dead. He's lying on the ground, and I'm looking at him like, and he's like, oh shit. And all the kids in the line are just dying laughing.
I bet.
Yeah.
I'm like, does anyone really acknowledge that this is totally unfair? Everyone's just laughing because the kid got rocked.
Oh, man.
I love it.
Whew. You guys see the sick video I posted?
Which one?
The,
The
drifting
drifting
video?
one was sick.
I
Man.
did.
That was unreal.
Yeah, I got to go out and film some sick drift cars the other day.
You did a little drone footage too, eh?
It was pissing rain out, and it was literally like, well, I mean, fuck it, like just it's a tool, right? So I just put it up in the air, and I was pretty nervous the whole time. But yeah, I don't know.
The whole time.
I was thinking like the propellers are flying fast enough. It's got to create like a little bubble, you know, like you can't. It'll be fine.
Yeah, science will fix it.
Science, right? Yeah, exactly. The biggest issue, I think it was raining so hard that my phone actually partially shut down. The USB port that connects to the actual controller, it disconnected. There's like water in the port shutting off. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh no.
So I had to like fly my drone back without like any image of it. I had to like just try and spot it in the air and slowly bring it back. And that was when it was pretty sketchy. But yeah, that and just having my camera out there, again, just soaking wet. But I trust that thing quite a bit more. But
the real question is, who was doing the lights, Matt? Can you tell
I
us who
had-
did the lights?
God was.
No, it wasn't me. So who was it? Are you cheating on me?
Just
we
about,
got a
man.
new guy already.
Yeah,
Already
yeah.
replaced, huh? That's all it is.
Well,
eh?
I was just putting some feelers out there. It was a one-man crew. The next one will be a little bit bigger. I'm talking with the events coordinator right now,
Likely
of making
story.
a pretty bigger one. So
It
Likely.
was a
story.
tight
he
squeeze
actually
for
got
where the
fired.
light guy could be, and we just
yeah,
the shoulders don't go in as far as they should.
yeah.
Can you imagine if that drone was powerful enough to like carry a human person and someone was just like sitting like a little Mario Kart situation? He's just got like a little light. He's just like floating through the air.
There's drones
Matt,
big enough
bring me
for
back,
it.
bring me back.
Yeah, trying to follow the drift cars as they're going around the track, and there's just this dude holding a light, fucking getting
he's like
just thrown around.
He's like literally that guy from like Super Mario, the one in the cloud. So
Yeah,
he's got
yeah,
the go light. He's just that, but he's got just like a little flashlight so you can take
Oh
good pictures.
man,
Get a little
Hilarious.
notification. 1%. Get down. Get down.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but yeah, it was wild. It was lots of fun. I just had fire people came to my house. I was like really nervous. I thought they were gonna check my plugs and stuff and like my computer room. There's a lot of extension cords in there, so I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna get like a violation or something. But yeah, sure enough, all they did was just come and check the actual fire alarm, just spray some aerosol. But I had a freaking panic attack because I was at my door and I could kind of hear them in the hall. I'm like, oh, they're gonna be at my house pretty soon, and I hear them in the house next to me, and they're like, oh yeah, just here to check the fire alarm. And I realized, because I've been cooking so much and I'm not actually that good at cooking, I unplugged my fire alarm a long time ago.
I did too.
Yeah.
I'll get
So
to
I
mine.
like had this panic attack where I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get caught without a fire alarm. So I like quickly grab my chair, throw it up, trying to put it on, like connect it as quietly as I can because they're in the room next to me. And I was just like, my heart is racing. I connected, I put the chair down, door knocks. I'm like, oh man. So I'm
Hi,
like,
nothing to see here, guys.
straight up. Just I'm like trying to take a couple deep breaths to like lose the fact that I'm panting. And I'm just oh hey guys. Yeah, oh, come on in. Oh yeah. So it was they were in and out. It was a scary moment. I thought I was gonna get in trouble.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I've had moments like that too because they do those fire alarm checks in our building as well.
Yeah.
And see, we have like, I don't know. There's like one fire alarm that I'm not really sure if it's a fire alarm or what, but I think it like is the one that's connected to the whole building's like sensors.
Okay.
And then I have 3 individual ones that just like are in this building. I think they don't know about 2 of them because they never check the 2. They only check the one that's right next to the main one. And it's the same thing. They just spray some shit. He radios his boy. Hey, did it go off? Yeah. Okay, cool. Next.
Huh.
And that's it. But I remember like same thing. We took out all the, 'cause yeah, sometimes when I'm cooking, I'm a shitty cook sometimes. And if I'm cooking like a steak and I'm trying to get a nice char, sometimes the
come
smoke
on,
is
you need it.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm just, the fire alarm just goes off in a second. So I'm just pissed. So yeah, I scrapped all the batteries. So I was like, fuck this. But yeah, same thing that I remember the first time they came by and I was like, oh shit, there's no batteries. Well, honestly, actually, that was the second time. The first time I just didn't realize I took out the batteries and he like did it. Not even on. I was like, you have no batteries in here. I'm like, irks.
Good thing there wasn't a fire.
I was like, whoopsie. Thanks for letting me know. That's why we have checks, right?
Yeah. You did your job here, pal. Thank
and
you.
so the second time he goes through and I knew like I didn't have batteries again because I took them out. I'm literally like, I saw them like kind of pull in and I knew that they like to like fart around in the parking lot for a minute because they were early. So I shoot to the store, find the batteries, race back. I'm getting in. And the thing is I know they're going to be quick because like for us, it was like 8 to 12, but I know they're going to be here at like 8:03, 8:05 because I'm the second room in the building.
fair.
So they check the first one. They come right to me. That's how it always ends up going. So it's same thing. Racing, grab the chair, climb, get it in the roof, put it in, come down. Hey man, yeah, go. I just woke up.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't just like sprinting through the parking lot 5 minutes ago, looking to see where you guys were.
Yeah.
It's Nowadays, I'm just like, I have the few batteries. They're just sitting on the shelf, so I'm ready whenever they show up.
The 9-volt batteries.
Yeah,
I
plug
hate
them in,
9-volt batteries.
do the test. So the last time they were here, I didn't even like wait for them to leave. Of course, they're grabbing the chair to go take them out. Like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, this is just for you. I did it. Cool. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I hate those.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
So last week I'd sent you guys girl I went to school with Sarah Pika did Pykamusic the stream.
Yeah.
Did you guys end up watching any of it?
I have no idea how to get
doesn't-
on, but I
that's-
looked into her, and yeah, she's
She's
legit,
been
man.
blowing up in the last she's been blowing up for a while, but in the last like 3 to 6 months she's just been booking everything, posting all over the place.
Yeah.
and
Nice.
I've
It's-
seen her a few times. I've popped in a few times. Check it out. Good time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because I've never really been an EDM kind of guy. Like I don't just turn it on and wait for the bass to drop. Not really my thing. But it was cool, like the way that she does it, because she's also talking the whole time. It's not podcasty, but she'll have the music, but then in the downtime she just starts talking to whoever's in the chat, thanking people, has her cat just pop up, has her ferrets on like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cameras, and it's just a good time.
She definitely
Nice.
wins points for having a ferret. Like,
yeah.
I remember when she first
I hate her ferret.
got. Really?
I
had
haven't
one
seen
when
them
I
in
was a kid.
a long
They're
time. They're
so
probably
cute,
nicer
though.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they used to steal my shit.
It's 'cause
They-
they're smart,
elaborate.
man.
Elaborate.
They-
What's the
so-
story, Kyle?
so-
Tell us.
So
What?
they knew how to open beers.
They're
and,
very
like,
What?
smart.
drink-
Yeah, you can train them
They're-
to like pickpocket people. They're
Open
pickpocket.
beers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're dicks.
Ferrets.
Ferrets are mean.
They're dicks.
But yeah, he'd like come over and he'd open up your beer or whatever you have. But then the one time he stole, I don't know if I can't remember if it was mine or somebody else's, but he took somebody's phone into a room that nobody goes into in their house, and we couldn't find it for like days.
Wow.
But yeah, those ferrets and they freak me out because they're so fast. They're like snakes with feet.
Yeah.
They're furry
Really
snakes
long
with feet
rats.
that just run around and they crawl up your legs, jump on your back, they'll chew on your ear. I'm not a fan.
Limo
I
rats.
don't like
What's he
them.
gonna do with an open beer though? Like, what's that about?
Dump it. Just ruins my beer. That's it. You're not
He's
doing
like-
anything fun.
He's like, Kyle brought a 6-pack. He's like,
Yeah.
take that 5, bitch.
Oh man.
They're probably better now, but
That's hilarious. No, she always posts pictures on Instagram of the ferrets too, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, great. Good
Yeah.
time.
They're cool.
but yeah, shout out Pykamusic.
Hey.
If you haven't seen it, take a look.
Hey.
Nice. Have you guys heard? Do you guys know who Sofia the robot is?
No.
You know? Okay, so she has like actual citizenship status in, I think, Saudi Arabia, and she's
Okay.
like a robot.
Wait, what? Pause. What? A
so-
robot has citizenship?
Yeah, so she's a real robot with like a
Wait,
like a AI animatronic face on her, and she's like learning emotion, all of this. So this was like a couple of years ago. She had got her actual citizenship.
This is not a sex robot. Please.
No, this is like a person robot. She's like pretty knowledgeable. She goes on to like she's an actual not host, but there's been numerous
Okay.
talk shows where she's like one of the guests, one of the speakers
Okay,
at
so she's
there and
like-
stuff like that.
her purpose is to do something that's not sex. Because like I was gonna say, if someone gave
Yes.
citizenship to a sex robot, I've seen people marrying that shit online lately.
No.
Like I think I've seen like 3 different posts in the last like year of people marrying their sex robots, and I'm
Well,
just like,
They had to get a green card to get into this country. You
and
got
I
it.
was like, Matt, where are you going with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, guys, I
So-
got one. She's my
So,
wife.
support our Patreon.
My wife.
Fuck.
Uh,
Okay, so she's a radio host.
And you said this is Saudi Arabia?
I believe. Yeah. I
So
have it
don't
kinda
they-
on my phone, but
Don't they like not even consider
Disrespect
gay
women.
people like to be like okay, but they're like robot, here's your citizenship, you're cool.
yeah, straight up, man. Okay, but here's the crazy part. She wants a baby.
Say what?
She wants a baby.
Gonna
Straight
call
up.
Daddy Elon.
So this
This
she's an actual citizen. So is she not entitled to having a child? And she has said herself, I'm pretty young because I was only created a few years ago, but I would like to have a family because everyone should have a right to a family in their life. And it seems like that's the purpose of life, because all she can do is collect data from how society kind of moves forward. And she has concluded that she should have a child as well at some point in her life.
I mean, part of me is like,
Fair.
Fair. But other part of me too is like, I'm just like happy she's really wrapped up in this idea of having a family and not like decapitating like a third of the world for the population
Well,
growth.
I
That's
mean,
what you
her,
think.
yeah, her child is then gonna grow up and have his own child. maybe.
Ultron is literally coming.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
realistically,
Sofia will be
we've
the mother of
got
them
we
all.
got ovens, and then we got our little toaster ovens on the side. Why can't we have a little Sophie? Like we just have a little robot that only grows up a little tiny bit at a time.
Okay, so here's my question, since I couldn't go 3 minutes without talking about this robot in a sexual context. What happens when she wants to have a family and she knows exactly how they're made, and she's like, "Hello, Matt. How are you today? It's getting a little warm in here, isn't it?" Like,
Let me remove my skin garment.
and then she just like,
I am uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't know about that part.
because like, who's
Like-
taking that L? Because she thinks that's how they're made. Is she smart enough to know that she's not actually human and that
Yeah,
she's gonna need to
she's
have
fully aware she's
someone's
a
gonna have
robot.
to build that shit.
Yeah, so more
Yo,
than
they're
likely,
gonna have to build in a little pocket pussy for Sophie.
so wow. Yo. Hit the brakes. Let's hit the brakes here.
There's a big group of people that can't have sex, and Sophia's gonna have kids.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Those people are just drooling right now. I can't wait to have a kid with Sophia.
I'm sorry. I just,
Have you guys seen the movie 43?
I'm
It's
not.
like it's like a bunch of skits in it.
It's like the same general idea of like scary movie and stuff like that when it first came out. I
Kind of.
like the same actors. I think I remember.
there's
it.
a lot of those actors. Anyways,
Yeah.
they have
I
this
think I saw
one
it.
bit where it's like their like iPhone is like this woman, and so like the woman's an iPod basically, and you just plug her in and you listen. It's just some naked woman. But they put the joke of the whole skit is that they put the exhaust fans in the vagina, and so they keep like like that's like its exhaust port. So the fans are going. It's like all the people that are inspecting it, they keep losing fingers, and no one knows how. And I'm like, man, this exhaust port is getting heat. I was like, yeah, it's a little testy.
Wow. No inter-cyborg relationships. That's the takeaway on this. Yeah, I'm not ready for like cyborg babies here though. This is gonna be weird.
I mean, does this? You know what this solves? Shout out to a couple weeks ago. We talked about the mating crisis. Guys,
Hey,
you don't need a woman anymore. They're not overly necessary,
you can just have Sophie.
right?
No
just-
more holding purses. No more shoes rooms. We've got Sophie doesn't wear shoes.
She's
No,
stronger
she does.
than
She has
you.
clothes, man.
She's
not,
strong.
not when she gets married.
She's not like the Tesla
got-
robot where
yeah.
it's weak and
She's
nimble.
got 400 load capacity. She can carry.
Yeah, she can crush a human skull.
She turns into some Black Widow. Fucking just starts killing dudes. She's like, "You enjoyed my pleasure." Dead.
Wow.
Guys are just getting killed off the top. Oh man. Okay, where are we going with this?
Going
That
where
got
it takes
deep.
us.
That got deep.
Going where it
But that's
Um,
wild. Citizenship though, like,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. So like, I don't know how much I want to get into it because it's like it's a weird topic.
That's
Wasn't,
just
'cause,
strange.
wasn't Elon Musk trying to do this? Did he not like look into
Well,
it?
Sophie's been around for a little while now. I think
Like,
2017 was
that's
when
what
she
I'm
was
saying,
like
like-
created or granted citizenship. But yeah, so after seeing this, I'm like, oh yeah, there's like other robots other than Boston Dynamics. Like Boston Dynamics are like way behind. They're probably for the army that are meant to like create killing devices. Tesla's gonna make servants, and then Sophie's gonna make fucking just
Babies.
cyborg
Yeah.
fucking babies. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia is here like, no, we don't even have real people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you guys are trying to do out here in the West, but like we've already got this done.
We
Yeah,
don't need
we don't have to
women's
work
rights.
anymore. Yeah. We don't do anything. Sophie does everything. Wild ride.
That's too much. So I was hearing something too about Facebook changing its name. Does anyone want to elaborate on
Yeah,
this?
I've trying to look into it a little bit, and they're trying to keep it under the wraps, you know, like, but they're doing like I think it was like October 28th is when they're actually hosting an event, and they're going to be telling everyone what they're changing to. So that doesn't mean that you're going to like go onto facebook.com and you're going to get a 404 error. There's still going to be Facebook, just like how Google, when Google changed their stock ticker turned to Alphabet. Like their umbrella company name is now Alphabet, and Alphabet owns Google, the search engine. But they didn't want to be associated as just a search engine device. They branched out. So Facebook is trying to get into what they're calling the metaverse. So basically,
The metaverse.
so we have the normal universe, this normal reality that we're living in. So
Okay.
they're creating a company, or they're creating an umbrella company that covers the metaverse, which is the universe that we've been creating online. So they're working on AR and VR and different types of social engagement engines that work online
They
for
have
this
their own
new
crypto
life.
too.
They're supposed to be, apparently there was talks about it a couple of years ago, but it was like shut down pretty quick because no one trusts Facebook. Because it wouldn't be like it wouldn't be a decentralized currency. It would be a bunch of currencies in a basket owned by Facebook, and then they will supply people their own version of a currency. So that's like just banks with extra steps. Like, so I think that kind of got pushed to the side. I'm sure they're still working on it. They're just waiting for like the regulations within the crypto universe to be kind of more well thought out, and they'll probably try and launch it again. But right now, they're really pushing for a lot of stuff, because even my VR headset, like I have the Oculus Quest, thing is awesome, but you need a Facebook account to use it. It's not like just this thing that works by itself. Exactly. So they're working on quite a bit of things. They're even pretty sure that like AR, so augmented reality, it's going to be pretty standard in glasses in the next, like, I don't know, couple of years, basically. So you're just going to be able to see details of things and like look at the stats of, I don't know, everything. I don't even know how it's going to
Like
work. I
off
don't know.
of Dragon Ball Z kind of thing. Bring that to
Yeah,
real
man.
life.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to see people's power levels. It's over
Like-
9,000. But yeah, I have no idea what it's gonna be. You'll look at pop and you'll be able to see the nutritional value.
Just look
of it
at
or
somebody, you
something,
see their BMI, you're like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
Your heartbeat's going up.
Wow, your sodium levels are high.
Yeah, you should get that checked out.
Oh boy.
So is this like, sorry to cut you off, is this
Nah, that's all I got.
is this Zucker? I feel like Zuckerberg's, he's got to have a pretty big ego. He owns Facebook, and he like kicked out his only friend when they started it. He must be looking at like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk being like, okay, these guys are doing the same shit as me, but they're going to fucking space. They're
Yeah.
thinking about building Mars.
Yeah, so they're
I'm
scaling.
I have 45+ year olds on Facebook. That's all I've got left.
Yeah.
Like, what can I do to kind of get past this point?
yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
make the metaverse.
that's exactly what he's doing. Yeah, because it's
terrifying.
he's kind of built Facebook up as high as he can. He can't really
Mhm.
build up anymore. He's trying to build out now, right? So it's turned into this thing where social media as a whole is like not what it used to be. It's kind of, there's different ways to be social and engage online. And Facebook isn't really that anymore.
No.
It's kind of like this like superficial face where you're kind of in a big pool with everyone else that you kind of know, and everyone's kind of talking. You can kind of hear echoes from everyone. And that's just a ridiculous form of social media.
Yeah.
So it's turning into this newer, smaller pockets of social media where there's different communities and different things where people are specific about one certain subject, and then you can be a part of all of these different communities. Like Reddit's a pretty good example of that. So,
Yeah, I guess so,
Facebook is kind of like this thing where it's just, I don't know, it's an echo chamber of just old people and shitty opinions that kind of just get shared back and forth, right? And then a ton of ad revenue as well. Like Facebook is just shitty opinions and ads.
Yeah. All
that's
the
it.
girls that post thirst traps on Instagram are wearing turtlenecks on Facebook because their family's watching.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a private account on Insta, but then they're just
That's
a
hilarious.
stand-up citizen on Facebook.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you guys under the pressure right now.
I love it.
We
Let's
have
go.
10 seconds from when I say go. You guys got to come up with the new name for Facebook. Ready, set, go.
Horizon.
Zucky fuck.
Okay, let's break it down. Kyle said Zucky fuck. How you even landed on that, I don't know.
They rhymed.
What?
Beautiful.
And Mark's
which one of those
last
were-
name started with Zuck.
Which one?
I didn't see that part. That's good.
The Y is silent.
The Y side. And see, Matt's over here with his word horizon. And honestly, I thought at first I was like, isn't that a cell phone company in the States? But I
It
think it's
is.
Verizon.
Yeah. The only reason I said that is because the article I read is they apparently
They already said it.
Facebook-
They
no,
might be called
it's
Horizon.
kept under like deep wraps. They're not even like, even the top end officials apparently don't even know what they're about to rebrand as. But Facebook is working on a new VR headset, and it's called the Horizon.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
yeah, so
So-
it might have something to do with either some sort of metaverse word or Horizon or
If it's
something
something
like that. Right?
weird like that,
It's
I'm a
gonna
little
be.
disappointed.
It's gonna be.
Because like Facebook, like it's called Facebook for a reason. Like that
It's a
was
book of faces.
that was the original concept. You know, that's what we're doing here, like with all the friends and your pages and everything. So like, I feel like if it's something like abstract like that, like the horizon, that's just corny as shit. Like if that's really,
You weren't supposed to stop.
I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's content, motherfucker. Keep going.
I'm trying to get behind the scenes content here. We're scaling. We're
That's
seeing new horizons.
Our first attempt at behind the scenes contact is me going, the fuck are you doing?
Nobody wants to listen to me. Why are you recording?
I love that. But like, I feel like if it's something corny like that, like you need something that like kind of still lets people know what it's about. Because I feel like that's, you know, YouTube, Tube TV, people kind of get, oh, this is videos. Instagram, you know, that kind of created its own name, made its own thing. But like Instagramming something, people understand like this is about pictures, the logo,
and it's
usually,
instant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people understand that the pictures is the thing. Facebook is also like just about profiles. Like people get like what they're about. But like you start like adding in things with like random names, like I don't know.
Yeah. I think
mean,
Horizon's a dumb name. Like I hope they change it to something different. But that was like the only guess I've seen floating around out there.
Yeah.
But
it just seems
it'll
like
probably be something dumb.
like the dumb name of some like software developer would create.
That's what it is. It's a software developer,
I'm
and they're
an
gonna
idiot.
come up
I'm
with a
just-
really dumb name.
I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah.
I was
Just
like,
walked into your own hole, man.
yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So Bitcoin mining. They're thinking of reusing and rehashing the heat in northern Vancouver. Did you guys hear about this at all? I think Dustin heard a little bit. Did you hear about it?
No.
Okay.
I don't hear anything about North Van. I don't even
So
hear it.
this is like they're actually going to be doing this by 2022. So a city-owned Lionsdale Energy Corporation has reached a deal with Mint Green, a Burnaby-based clean tech crypto mining company. They're going to be using recovered heat electricity from Bitcoin mining to help heat nearly 100 residential and commercial buildings. So they're basically this mining company, they have about like 97% of their actual electricity is through hydroelectricity. So
Can we back up and
Yeah.
explain what Bitcoin mining is? Because
no. So there are, without trying to get too into it, there are machines out there, and they have one sole purpose of creating thousands of computations a second or a minute kind of thing, or probably a second. Like it just creates these computations, and once it finds the correct computation, like once it hits the correct hash, that's what hits the Bitcoin mining reward. Whoever owns that, whoever it's connected to, they'll get the Bitcoin. Like it's getting like the way Bitcoin is created is really, really cool, but it's insanely hard to explain to fucking regular people.
I was gonna say, guys.
All I heard was computation. Computation.
So
and
without
computation.
let's not talk about Bitcoin.
Okay.
Let's just say there's a machine that works really, really, really hard and really fast and generates a lot of heat.
So when your computer overheats, we're
Yes.
gonna use that heat to warm our bums.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Science.
the electricity to run these machines that generate tons of heat is already hydroelectric powered. So it's reusing already used energy to then have a second purpose of heating up these homes. So it's pretty wild. They're going to be able to reuse like 97% of the actual heat generated from these machines into heating actual houses. So that's pretty cool.
So that's technology that's readily available. Why doesn't everything do that? Like every office is running like 30 computers all nonstop all day. Why are they not?
It'll
doing the same thing?
honestly, a lot of people don't trust Bitcoin still. Let's say it doesn't turn out to be a scam. Let's say it's around for a really long time.
Mhm.
There's a really good chance that most people, it'll kind of make sense to have a handful of machines inside of a building, and they'll use up a lot of electricity in order to generate the heat,
Mhm.
but they'll also be creating an income. So it'll be like this, not necessarily free, but it will be a very, very cheap source, potentially profitable source, potentially, of generating heat, and then you'd be heating your house and you'd be making money off of it. So there's potential like that for the future, but it's so far away because a lot of people are still really unsure about all of it, right?
Yeah, you started that. What if it's not a scam? So you're saying there's a good chance that this is just a scam?
No,
No,
I'm
he's
just
talking
saying
about
that we're
Bitcoin in
just
general.
really, really early, and a lot of people still are like, "What's with that Bitcoin thing?" It's I firmly believe that it's going to be a large part of the future. The whole Web3 development within Ethereum, it's going to revolutionize the way we engage online. But it's hard to kind of talk about that to people who have zero concept about it because it's just like, well, isn't it just a get rich quick scheme where it's like it's like a silent revolution disguised as a get rich scheme.
Yeah, sometimes I forget that people like don't know that this all this stuff is like real. Like even like last night, I went to go hang out with my parents. I had to explain to them what OnlyFans was and why I have one. No, I'm just but like I actually had to explain.
Why did we see you online, Dustin?
I was like realistically, this isn't even a weird thing anymore. Like people just have OnlyFans.
Super
like,
casual,
it's
like
very
like wives and stuff.
yeah, unfamous people. Like
Do people here have it? Like I've never actually been on it. I've only ever heard of it as like a popular blah 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 in like New York and California.
No,
and
I
places
know.
like that.
I know a girl. I think she lives out in like Calgary or something, or somewhere in Alberta. But she has an OnlyFans, and she's had it for a while. And her Instagram has like 120,000 followers. Like I'm sure she bought a handful in the beginning, but since then it's kind of grown into something. But
I know at least 3 people within Chilliwack and Abbotsford that do.
yeah.
Like
It
it's
seems like
not
they're all
that-
doing good.
Yeah, they're just making free money. I'm like, honestly,
Just show your
I
butthole.
I can't hate on the hustle. If I
Yeah.
had a market, who knows? You'd see me out there too.
Yeah, you get those
Right.
toes spread.
There's a market for everything.
Right? If there was a market, hey, let's go. But
Yeah.
like, so like I can't judge it, but it literally is like a all the time thing. Like people are doing that. So,
Yeah.
but
Honestly,
like my parents had no idea that this was even a thing.
you really opened up Pandora's box.
Well,
Don't check those laptops
Well,
anytime soon.
well, they were funny because they're like, oh, well, you can sell your stuff, and I'm just like, maybe not that website.
Yeah, that's what they wanted to do.
That's
That
hilarious.
that could be your.
No, Kyle's
thought
got
of
an
it.
idea.
No,
Kyle, give it to us.
Dustin-
What's the
Oh,
idea?
no.
Dustin's OnlyFans is gonna be you going to your snack stores, getting it, ordering in, and basically like that kid that unveils all the presents. You're gonna be going through the snacks and introducing people to, like your Cheetos mac and cheese. I found those, so I had to try like the flaming hot ones. I tried them; they were dog shit. But I bought them specifically because you had them and you had unveiled this
That's
box.
Exclusive
fucking
content on
suck.
the Patreon.
Yes.
It's going to be snack unboxing. Dustin's snack reviews or something.
Did I rant about that last week? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't think you did.
I think
no.
you showed us, but I don't think it was actually on the show.
Okay. So I made these flaming hot Cheetos mac and
Yeah.
cheese, and Kyle's not wrong. They fucking suck.
So
Yeah.
bad.
I have never been one in my entire life. Kyle can vouch. I've never once not finished a bowl of mac and cheese, ever.
I don't
Anyways,
think there's been a
so-
time that he's only had one bowl of mac and cheese.
Honestly, I'm used to getting like the big, like the ones that are like 50%
I don't even use a
bigger.
bowl. You just eat it out of the pot. That's,
Yeah,
that's
like,
the bowl you
I
use.
Fucking crush mac and cheese, and that's my shit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When you get the flaming, okay, so Kyle got the flaming hot Cheetos. I imagine that's just a slightly spicier version than what I ate, but probably tasted the same. And it was a very weird experience. Like, first off, they had me going for a loop. They had different noodles than regular mac and cheese. I was like, why? Why? Are you trying to be like different?
Yeah, what was different?
They
I
were-
already don't like that.
so it wasn't macaroni noodles. I can't even remember what they're called, but like the
It
swirly
was just
ones.
spirals.
Spirals,
Oh.
yeah. It was just like,
oh, I don't even like
thing
that
like that.
version of macaroni.
yeah,
it
they were
didn't
just,
You
fit.
need the elbows.
It's
They were-
not macaroni anymore.
yeah,
it's
it was
noodles.
just weird. But anyways, so you open up the flavor packet. Let's call it flavor packet because it ain't cheese. I can tell you that for free. And it just reeks of a bag of Cheetos, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like
just
this
that
is-
powdered cheese before
yeah,
they put it on
and
the
it smells
things.
so good. That's what it smells like.
Fair.
And to be honest, I think it is just that. I
Yeah.
don't think it's actual cheese. It's just their powdered cheese, because even the way it mixes, it gets clumpy in a different way than how the mac and cheese gets clumpy. And it really just like looks like you added a little bit of water to that shitty residue at the bottom of a Cheetos bag. It was kind of gross.
That is
Mhm.
literally what you do.
And,
like,
it
that's yeah.
is disgusting.
I'm sure it's the same.
So like you start off high, that smell of Cheetos cheese, you're like, oh, this is gonna be so good. I'm so ready for this. But once you've mixed it in and you start eating, like, it just doesn't taste good at all. Like at all. And I'm like sitting there and like I probably ate like even when I make shitty food. Like sometimes I make food and it doesn't taste that good and I'm like, fuck it, but like this is just it's still chicken and rice. Like I need to fucking eat it. Like
Yeah.
we don't need to elaborate why I'm fucking up chicken and rice, but like sometimes you just gotta eat it. And I'm like, fuck, that was gross, but whatever, it's in my body. Like I gotta move on with my day. I don't have time to make something else for dinner. Like it's just it. But like this is one of those things where like I'm eating this and I'm like, man, this is too gross to finish. Like I ate half the bowl and I'm just sitting there going, and I'm just moaning and groaning, and I put the bowl down in hopes like, can I try it? And I'm like, if you want to, you ain't gonna like it. And if something's gross, she definitely will. She takes one bite and she's like, yeah, we're never buying that again. And I almost made 2 bowls because I almost made one for me and one for her, but she's like, I'm actually not quite hungry right now. Maybe make mine later. I'm like, sure, whatever. We didn't even make that one. We had to throw it in the trash because what the fuck am I gonna do with it? Like, it was disgusting. It tasted terrible.
So there is absolutely a market in you describing food, because I have never heard somebody when they talk about it, you immediately went to the flavor packet. That you cut open the flavor packet and you get the smell of hot Cheetos, and that like you remember it's as if you opened up a bag and you have that knowledge in your brain that not everybody has.
Yeah.
You have experiences not many people that look like me will ever achieve. And there's definitely a market for you describing opening crazy different types of food, like your Dunkaroo puddings and all the weird shit that you have. There's definitely a market there.
You heard it here first.
You know, I thought about making a food Instagram one time, but I was like, I'm already fat enough. But also, I know this guy back in Toronto that was doing that, and I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, Kev. I've talked mad shit about his food blog. So I'm just like, am I a wild level hypocrite if I make one?
Yes, be a hypocrite and make some fucking money. That's all that matters.
If you make it comical on purpose, right? Like it's like shitty reviews kind of thing.
Oh yeah, you can't take it serious because you can't review Popeyes 3 times a week and be like, oh yeah, I'm trying out my new meal for the week.
What would be even funnier is if it was shitty, ridiculous food and you took it super serious. Like, the taste palette here is a little bit complex.
Oh man, I was just thinking as Kyle was saying like Popeyes 3 times a week. Can you imagine if I had made like a YouTube video and it was like, what I eat in a day, and instead of like it's like a models, you know the models do that. What I eat in a day, it's just like what I eat in a day, overweight, obese, BMI 45 or something like
Body positivity.
And it was just like, so for breakfast we're having Popeyes. I got to skip the dishes. I don't like to leave the house or move at all, so I literally get it sent to me wherever I'm sitting at that moment. It was great. It was delicious. I ate everything. All right, it's 2 hours later. I'm hungry again, so we order Popeyes again.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this on TLC. You can go anywhere.
Every single fucking meal of the day. So we started with a spicy 3-piece bucket last night. This morning we're gonna open up with the mashed potatoes with gravy.
And this is my 500-pound life.
People literally ask me like, it's like almost like they're kidding, but like it's usually like it was always a thing in football, like a couple guys here and there. But like even like at work, I've had some girls be like, they're like, oh my God, I'm so skinny. And it's like they're like complaining as if that's like, you know, shame. Like, how can you be skinny? You're in shape. That's weird. And it's like, oh, I just want to gain like a little weight. I'm like, how serious are you? Like, I don't know if I said this already, but like if you want to gain weight, I'll show you how. Yeah. It's not what you're doing, it's what I'm doing. So let me show you. I'll show you how to gain weight. Like people are always like, it's so hard to gain. It's not that hard. It really isn't.
Like, give me 3 days.
Well, even when I was bodybuilding, it's the same kind of thing of like a different type of weight, I guess.
Absolutely.
But
you want healthy weight.
Like
healthy
trying to
weight takes a
gain
lot of
proper
effort.
muscle mass, and it's the same thing of like even guys like, oh man, I'm trying to gain weight or I'm trying to bulk right now, and it's like, yo, like what are you actually trying to do? Like, are you just eating an extra bowl of macaroni every night or something like that, or like because in the peak of my bodybuilding, I was eating like 3,500 calories of like literally chicken and rice, like a meal every 2 hours, and it was a helping of chicken and rice, and it's nonstop. You're pissing and shitting all day because your body is literally full of chicken and rice.
The fact that you were able to get up to 3,500 calories on just chicken and rice.
Yeah, well, and
that's commitment.
There was like some fish in there and broccoli, things like that
like
here and
still,
there. But
fill in that chicken with teriyaki sauce.
No, you can't. Too much sodium.
What?
Yeah, you can't, man. No, it's chicken and rice.
See, that's the thing.
And broccoli.
That's the thing.
That's tough.
If you're really committed to like the dialing it in,
Yeah.
3,500 calories of chicken and rice is a lot of fucking food
I went to Costco and I would buy the big giant frozen boxes and I would go through that like
in a week.
a week or something like or
Not
maybe every 2 weeks or something like that. Or no,
Yeah.
I can't remember how much it was, but it was a
That's
lot.
a lot, dude. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Because like, speaking of someone that's easily consumed 3,500 calories,
This morning.
it's easy to do that with like shitty food. But even
Yeah.
with shitty food, that's a lot of fucking food.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
still a couple meals.
You still feel it.
Yeah.
Chicken and rice is not that much of a calorie intake. So like, I can't even imagine how much you had to eat each
It
meal.
was wild.
And it would just be dry as fuck. And I
Oh.
never realized how much sodium is in hot sauce because I would think,
Yeah.
oh, you want low calorie? That's the best low calorie sauce out there. It's like hot sauce or like mustard or something.
Yeah.
There's so much sodium in that. And if that's what
Yeah.
a concern, then you're fucked. I don't know
Yeah.
what to
So
do.
the one nice thing with sodium is your body can get used to it. So if you kind of like build up to a certain level of salt intake per day, your body regulates it, and then it kind of considers that like your base level. So then
Okay.
you lose a bit of the water weight afterwards, right? So then if you stop that, the next day you're all of a sudden like significantly more shredded than you were the day before, or like within a day kind of thing, where all of a sudden your body is just searching through all of its
Time
cells.
to salt up that chicken, daddy.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Saying I should start chugging hot sauce and then just stop and be like, fuck
Yeah.
it.
Well, I remember like the week leading up to my competition, you're also drinking like 6 gallons of water a day. So like
That's wild.
you're pissing and shitting all day.
I
Yeah.
try to drink that much. and I'm
Yeah,
like,
so like to this day, I'm
full.
still like I have like
I'm
eating
full.
disorders because of all of this. But water is one thing. I drink so much water. But like so the week leading up to it, you start increasing your salt intake and trying to regulate your body with all of this salt. So then on competition day, the day before, you stop all salt, you stop all water, and your fucking body goes into like overdrive shock, like what is going on? I'm about to die. So your body just dries up and you are just shredded. You have that like dick vein look in your arms where it's just like you're veiny as hell and you're just shredded. There's not an ounce of like
so
like
vascular.
water. Yeah, it's crazy.
So no salt on Tuesdays. We're coming into the pod and looking nice, boys.
Yeah, exactly.
so
Lose some of that water weight.
Tarps off for the sodium.
So, I'm not sure if this was your last show, but there was a time when you were prepping for a show. And
Yeah,
you
I only
were-
did one.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
the only one.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I had been training for a long time and like, kind of going back and forth of taking it super serious, seeing how far I can push myself,
Yeah.
all of this. But then this was like, okay, how far can I actually do this? And I want that mental competition,
Okay.
right? Like, what can I do with myself?
So me and Matt were chilling a lot back then, and I remember he was getting ready for the show, and like I would see him at work too. At work, he would have his very portioned meals, and he
Mhm.
would have his times, and he would get really stressed out if he was remotely removed from that timeline.
Yeah.
Like if there was like, oh, he had too many tables at this moment, he's like, I need to fucking eat right now. Or maybe the boss was like, Matt, you're not allowed to be eating. He's like, fuck you, I need to fucking eat right
Yeah.
now. Like
I would have walked off.
like
if they
yeah,
said it.
like if there was
Sorry.
anything trying to deviate him, he was very committed to it. Now the thing was we were in the gym together back then, so we'd be going to the gym every a couple times a week, and it was good for a little bit. The problem was we had different like timelines in our life. So he was getting progressively more intense, building up to a competition. I was just going, and I was about to go to Mexico. So, so like we're going in very different routes here.
Yeah.
I was ready to go to Mexico. I was just trying to get nice for the
Yeah, I
beach.
think I remember I was like, I was doing progressive overload or something like that, and I was training with you. And I was just kind of like getting to these points where you're like, all right, well, I'm going to stay at this weight.
And so it was so funny because like for a while there we were like it was like good. It was I mean I don't know how it was for you, but it was good for me. Like we were working together fine. But then like especially like when I was like in Mexico, I knew you were like just getting a little bit more intense. And then like when I get back from Mexico, I knew I was probably gonna like want to break into it slowly. Be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I got to gotta get out the
Mhm.
grease. And I was like, Matt was too nice to say it, but I was like, Matt, we shouldn't work out together anymore. Like I know you have some serious
We
goals
broke
you
up
want to
after
achieve,
that.
and I'm very much gonna hold you back because I got Mexico tummy. I'm not trying to do what you're trying to do, and you're out here getting fucking dick vein vascular, and I'm just like, we just like,
I'm searching for veins.
yeah, we're in different places in our life right now. But he was like,
It's not
so,
you, it's me.
We can still be friends.
yeah, he was too nice to say anything, so I cut the cord before it got serious. I didn't want it to come between us, but yeah, it was he was really fucking serious. It was a good time.
Yeah.
How did the show go?
So I got third, and usually it's a 12-week prep. I did a 6-week prep, so I was like just pushing myself as hard as I could in half
I
the
was
amount of
so
time.
intense.
And so the two people that beat me, the first place guy, I'm telling you, he was doing steroids. Because like I like searched his
Yeah,
Instagram.
fuck that guy.
No, I searched his Instagram, and like I think it was like 6 months before, he was like this kind of fat dude. Like it's just, and he was shredded, like just like really, really shredded.
He cared.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at his
didn't care
Instagram
enough, bro.
now and he's like a fat guy again.
Yeah.
So,
Care
and
for
then
that one
the
moment.
second place guy was like, all he did was just go around to different entry level competitions because he had a fitness company. So he was just doing it for like the content and stuff like that. So he would get all of his pictures of this. So he was like all year round borderline shredded.
True.
So he was just in a really, really good shape. So then, yeah, he got second place, only beaten by the guy in steroids. And then, yeah, I got in third place. So I was super happy with that. I got a nice little bronze trophy.
That's so dope, man. That's so dope.
Yeah, but yeah, because the whole thing was like, I'm not trying to be the best in the whole fucking world. I don't want to be the strongest man of all time.
Yeah.
I just want to see how far can I push myself in a certain amount of time, and I don't know.
Came out of it with a bronze and an eating disorder.
Exactly. I'll take
Two
it,
wins
man.
right
I
there.
still carry both every day.
Oh no. You know what's funny? Some of these fitness guys are just they're such fucking phonies. And here
Yeah, now that I'm out of that world too, seeing it all from a different perspective, it's like, oh my god,
right? Like see, like I mean, it's probably even easier for you to spot because you were so in the world that you know all the things. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no like tricks that people can pull that you haven't heard of before.
yeah, yeah,
But like even just from like an outside perspective, I know you can't tell right now, but I've never done fitness competitions. And the thing the thing is I've known some guys that have gone from fat little chubby things to being fucking monsters.
yeah.
And I'm like, don't tell me you were just in the gym.
Yeah.
I know what in the gym looks like.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I know what it's like to be that, and I know what it's like to train for years. Like I played football, I had to work out.
yeah.
I know, like it's hard to believe, but like I was pretty fucking sick. But anyways, but like I know this one guy growing up, exactly what I'm talking about. Porky kid, nothing too special. He actually sucked ass at football. He was pretty bad, but
Was he an offensive lineman?
I think he played D line. He was
Okay.
too small to be offensive lineman.
I wasn't sure if it was the guy I was thinking of.
No, but he would, but like he was a good kid. We're friends with the family, like good people, whatever. His older brother was always in shape, but like I stopped paying attention to him for a couple years. He went quiet on like social media. It wasn't even a couple years, maybe like it was probably like 8 months, and then all of a sudden he comes back and he's like, he had a bit of a growth spurt, so he's pretty tall, but all of a sudden he's just an absolute monster.
Yeah.
And I think you know who I'm talking about because we've talked about him before.
Yeah, I think.
But
I know.
like because I think you told me a story about how you like ran into him and you actually like talked to him, and it's like he always denied it. Always said no, I'm not
Yeah.
steroids, all natural. Except he always ducks the competitions where there's no testing.
Yeah,
or there's
because
testing.
most people don't know there's two divisions.
Yeah.
One of them is open, and the other one is like a closed division where they're like heavily testing everyone. Right? If you're a winner, after you get your trophy, you walk to the bathroom and you have to do a piss test.
Yeah.
Like it's like that. But then like the other division, they're like, oh yeah, no steroids. Like it's all bad. Like you can't do that. This is a natural competition. And then like people are like pulling out their fucking needles and then going on stage right after kind of thing. And like there's just no questions asked, right?
Yeah,
So
and it's like
it's
if you're
weird.
ducking the testing ones and
Yeah.
only doing the open ones,
Yeah.
I mean red flags. But like there's just no way you don't grow that big
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah.
And especially when you consider it's like you've been working out consistently. Your development has been like this. If it all of a sudden goes like this,
Yeah.
like,
It's when you hit
chill.
those plateaus. There's a certain point where your muscles can't progress any farther until you learn a different way of training and learn like until they have to adapt to something else because your muscles just are trying to get efficient at whatever they're doing.
Mhm.
So once they get as efficient as they can, they won't grow anymore. Even though you're trying to lift more, they won't grow. So you have to learn a different way. So it's when these people are coming in the gym and every single week, all of a sudden they're just lifting heavier and heavier and heavier. And it's like, okay, what's going on here, man? Like every single week you just gained like another pound of muscle. Like the fuck? Like, so
Yeah, I had a buddy in high school too. Like, I've especially in football, I've known steroid users my whole life. Like, there's always a few. Like, even when I was in college, at one point, I had a couple buddies on my football team that were like backups. They're really trying to break the roster. And even that was like I had needle disposal bins in my house. I'm like, guys, you need to fucking chill. Like,
Take a break.
you're not playing because, like, you're not playing because of like what you're wearing, like how big you are. You're not playing because you fucking suck. Like there's
Yeah.
a difference. Like you're not gonna learn
Trying
how
to
to
make up for it. in
You're not
other
gonna be
words.
better at football just because you're stronger. Like
Yeah.
you actually have to know how to play football and be an athlete. Like sometimes there's more important things like know your playbook, know your plays, what are your responsibilities. Sometimes there's things that are a little bit more important than just being a little juice head.
Yeah.
But like I've known guys like that my whole life, and even in like high school, I had this one buddy. We had been friends and played ball together for years. He'd always looked like Kyle. That's just how he was. And all of a sudden,
Fucking ripped.
it was like 2 weeks before a certain camp comes up. All of a sudden, he shows up and he's just shredded and huge. And you're like, what the hell? You know, this guy ended up taking reps down the D line with me at one point. I'm like, you were my quarterback. What are you?
Chicken rice.
Yeah.
Fucking doubled up on broccoli.
And people are always like, no, all natural. It's like, who are you lying to? Do you really think we believe you? Like, some people, like, were more honest and they just, like, you know, just don't ask, don't tell. I don't want to talk about it because, you know, you can still get in trouble for that shit.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, it's cool that you know, but shut the fuck up. Like, some people were like that. And that's cool. Like, as long as you're straight with me, like, I don't care. But, like, don't pretend. Don't
Yeah.
act like I don't know and, like, tell me, like, it's all in my head. Like, shut up. Like,
Yeah.
we all
Yeah.
know what it is.
Sorry. Outside of sports, I don't really see any issue with taking steroids. Like if you wanted to do a
If-
show or something and you just did it right, you took steroids, you wanted to win. Nobody like who does it hurt?
Yeah.
You're not hurting anybody else.
A
You
lot of
might hurt
times-
yourself, but like you're probably drunk too.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
you know,
coming down to like
like-
body dysmorphia where they just want to be perceived as bigger. And it's like, I mean, yeah, man, people have plastic surgery all the time. Like, you want to inject shit into you just to get bigger? Man,
Yeah.
go right ahead. Right?
I'd
But-
love to. I'd fucking love to just get on all the juice, fucking do everything,
HGH and-
get an extra 30 pounds and just show up with no neck.
Yeah.
Just the next
No neck,
podcast. We
Kyle
gotta get
says
extra
that.
lighting.
Kyle says that, except he won't be able to like shoot a basketball anymore because the added muscle mass will change his form completely. He's not even gonna be able to like touch his fucking hands together, his chest. It's gonna be so fucking big.
play? Crush! Fucking breaks it.
See, on one side of the coin, I completely agree with you guys. Like, if you're not in some kind of competition where there's rules, there's no restrictions on you. You're just living life. If you want to look different, just like how women get plastic surgery or
Yeah.
other people get plastic surgery, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. The only reason that I still don't think steroids are always in HGH are like the best move is because it like actually like changes you in ways that like you're probably not wanting it to.
Yeah,
Like-
testosterone does a lot to you. like,
Like-
there's a reason it regulates in our bodies. When you
And
give it too much,
and the way those things can affect your mental health
Yeah.
and the people around you make them not good things. Like, do you want to be known as a rage monster? Because
Yeah.
I've met those people, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, when they're really, really big, I don't say shit to them. But like when they weren't that big and they were just rage monsters for the sake of being rage monsters, but they were still small, I told them they were fucking idiots, and it usually resulted in them trying to fight me.
Yeah.
Like, do you want? I mean, don't go tell people fucking idiots. Maybe they won't fight you, Dustin. That's good advice. But like,
That's
do
fair.
you want to be that guy that's overly rage induced? That's always gonna be, you know, trying to like lose it on somebody. 'cause
Yeah.
you can get my protein
Dude,
shake. Like,
Do I look good? That's all. If I look good enough, I don't care about the rest of you. But,
yeah.
like,
So you snap and beat your wife, and then what? Your whole life is
and that's why I'm not on steroids. That's it. That's the only reason.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
I didn't have kids and a wife, I didn't need to
Fuck it.
care about other people.
Yeah, cows get ripped anyway, whatever. And like HGH, like that doesn't just like grow your muscles.
it makes
also-
your heart bigger.
it grows your
Yeah,
organs.
your cellular level.
Yeah.
That's why,
grows.
like, I remember, like, when I was like early in college, they took us to like this seminar, and it was just like this big seminar about substance use and talking about like performance enhancing stuff. And they're like, you know, the way the guy was talking about it was so funny because they played a video, and he's like, I know you guys might not think that we can tell, but we can tell. And he shows all these pictures of dudes that were on HGH. And now when I
That's
see
a
it,
whole other.
Yeah,
You
you build
cannot-
their heads grow and shit.
well, like, if
Yeah.
you ever see those big bodybuilders that
The
are
fucking-
just absolute massive, but they still have like their tummies big?
Yeah.
It's because their organs have grown because of the HGH.
Well, yeah, they gotta fill out.
It's their HGH gut and their stomach and their everything.
A perfect example is Joe Rogan. From him back in Fear Factor days, he was like a skinny dude, like a narrow fucking
Yeah.
head, and now he's got a huge head his hands are like ape hands. Like it's from HGH, man. And it stays like that forever. Steroids are like,
and
you
now
stop
he's
working out.
beloved.
Exactly, right? Do
I
HGH.
don't get
everyone
what you
will
guys
love
are trying to say here. Like, you keep telling me all these positives. Like, nobody's gonna
Start
fuck with me. I'm
injecting
gonna
Kyle
be
while
Joe
he's
Rogan. Like, this is awesome.
Kyle has very much selective hearing.
Oh man.
Kyle's that version. There was actually a TikTok trend with I saw some girls do over the last like year where it was like, you think this attitude's fucking cute, you think you're cute, and then it's like, well, it's like just like some guy chewing her out, and then she's like cuts out everything but the you're cute, and she's like, nice. That's literally the meme. That's literally Kyle.
Yes, at all times.
Nice.
That's hilarious. Speaking of Joe Rogan, there was one last thing we wanted to talk about. Kyle, you were listening to Joe Rogan talk to this he's a medical advisor at CNN, I think it was.
Yeah, Sanjay Gupta. I
Something like
can't
that.
pronounce the last name. Don't wanna try.
But yeah, you want to talk about that? Give it to us. Kyle.
So basically, you guys were clowning him too when Rogan got COVID. He obviously took like a little cocktail of everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, the easy way to look at it is, oh, you don't want to take the experimental vaccine. You're gonna take these other 10 experimental things. But clearly, he'd talked to doctors, and the whole controversy was that CNN, after that happened, they're like, he's taking ivermectin. We're not going to talk about all the other things, but ivermectin. And this also was for horse dewormers, and we're going to say that's what he took. So we're going to pretend the guy that just signed a, $300+ million deal with Spotify, he can't afford real people medicine. He's going to have horse dewormer.
So I think the controversy stems from, because I mean, I still stand by that point. It is still an experimental drug for COVID. So I wasn't wrong. The only reason why I think CNN why he was trying to call out this doctor on his podcast was because CNN was saying he wasn't they didn't really acknowledge that he was taking the human version of ivermectin that's actually prescribed to people, and that he probably was prescribed by a doctor.
Yeah.
They literally were saying you're taking horse medicine, which is definitely a lie.
Basically trying to make him sound like he's an idiot. And he's like, this thing won, I think it won like a Nobel Prize for the use like 5-10 years ago, but it's been around forever.
Yeah, for parasites though.
Yeah.
But so like it wasn't the horse version that he took.
He even said on the podcast, he's like, I never said ivermectin cures COVID. I said that was one of the 10 things that I said.
When you have tons of fucking money, the doctors are like, all right, try a little bit of this.
Like,
you'll probably be good.
I got fuck you money. I was able to say fuck you to COVID. That's how big Joe Rogan is. You can't cancel him. Not even COVID can stop him.
I thought that whole interview with that doctor was so funny, especially because like everyone highlights the part where like Joe Rogan like straight up like calls him out. She's like, why'd they do that?
Yeah.
Why'd they lie? And because, you know, on one side he's like, he came here to see if he could like talk sense into Joe Rogan and change his views. But at the same time, he was also kind of, you know, he says it in the podcast, he's kind of like, he knew he wasn't going to like change his mind or really like convert him to his side.
Yeah.
But he wanted to try because, you know, it's like two conflicting viewpoints. Let's see if they can have some dialogue.
Yeah.
But he does still have a job at this place. So like he has to go back to this job. He can't just shit on CNN and then be like, hey guys, I'm back. And like, what the fuck was that about? But it's a pretty awkward question for him. Be like, so why did they straight up lie about what I was taking? Because I did not take fucking horse medicine. And he's like, yeah, I don't know why they said that. Like you kind of was like,
and that's the reason. That's the reason Rogan has so many more viewers than anywhere else, because of the fact that he can say whatever he wants. There's nobody above him that says, "Oh no, don't talk about that part." Whereas the guy's like, "Oh, I'm the guy that's on CNN. I'm way more versed in this. I'm gonna go in and convince Joe Rogan of this." Joe Rogan's talked to like how many thousands of people, how many doctors this year? You think you're gonna convince him, but you can't talk about the things that were incorrect, or like you can't make that work.
Yeah.
So
it was a pretty funny interview.
The interview was good though. Like that's the part where I guess that's the broader part, is that people generally don't look at the whole encompassing episodes when they have their big Joe Rogan like moments. It's the 2-minute video, like you said, of why'd they do this? Why'd they do this? That's what most people think what the whole interview was. Most of it was him just talking to him. They were both going off on like, well, what about this part with masks? What about this part with the vaccines? and most of the time they kind of agreed for the most part. But everybody acted like this
Yeah.
whole thing was one
Yeah.
big rage fest.
Yeah.
And then like the next day he goes back to CNN because he says at the end of the video like, "Oh, I'll make sure to say something next time." Goes on. Don Lemon immediately is like, "Well, he said that we were lying about ivermectin, but technically it's also a horse dewormer." He's like, "Yeah, you're right."
Like, so anyways, another
Like this
news.
fucking, it was really, really funny to see somebody go from a point where he's allowed to actually talk however he wants back to work and
Yeah.
see his like customer service voice come out.
Man.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting one. I watched. I didn't get through the entire thing. Yeah, but I'll probably go back to it. But I think that's the one part of like, cause like I'm not a huge Joe Rogan guy. Like I like Joe Rogan. I think he's what I like about Joe Rogan is his ability to be critical of everything and always
Yeah.
be willing to ask the questions.
Yeah.
You know, I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but I don't think that's necessarily the point half the time.
No,
In
definitely not.
conversations like this one with this doctor, I did think it was just a good conversation. I thought that they were just doing their thing, just chatting, and you know, whether you want to call it educational or not, at least you got an education on their two different viewpoints and how people think. And I think that's ultimately what he's offering most of the time is just seeing different viewpoints.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. I mean, like I said, sometimes he says some shit. I'm just like, questionable, but whatever. That's, you know, that's half the thing. Like he says, like, and like Kyle, you know, reminds us of all the time. He's like, I'm just getting drunk and high. Don't
Yeah.
listen to me. I don't give a fuck. I'm just talking.
Do you see the size of my head? This isn't because I got all these extra brains. I'm just adding shit into my body at all times. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
This is a big old science experiment.
That's funny.
Um,
I think we're gonna cut it there.
Yep.
That was a good one. That was decent.
Felt nice.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. This setup with the
Yeah.
angles that we
So
did
anyone
today.
who is watching or listening, if you actually enjoyed this, I guess if you're listening, you have no idea what we've even changed, but we would still love your input. Anyone who's out there watching, give us some content, some ideas, couple of potential talking points, anything like that. Other than that, anything you guys?
Good to go.
All right.
It's been a pleasure.